guys, so this is Dan with the Crayon Brotherhood, and last week we did the install of the window motors, and we're doing the power locks now. I'm not gonna lie, doing it all in one day because I'm not taking these door panels back apart, but it's a good opportunity to make 2 videos, so I'm going to exploit that. Sorry, I couldn't come up with anything else, and this was just a good thing to do. My wife's been wanting these and the power windows since she got the Jeep, back 3.5 years ago. So we're going to be doing the power locks today, and the gate lock too. So the windows, you can see the last video, popping these panels off. It's not very difficult. You got a little plastic thing here, pops. You don't even need that. You just pop it out. You got a screw here. This is the back passenger door, by the way. So you got a screw here, here. Pop this out like this. These bolts are not real. Don't try to take them out. You'll break it. Just trust me. You got 2 screws here. These are the Phillips number 2s. This is a Torx 20, and a Torx 20 here. And you got to take this loose down here at the bottom right, or y'all's right. Your cable management and door stop. That's a Torx 30. So let's get going. And I got my handy assistant over here for catching parts. So you might see her pop in and out every now and again, or at least a hand. After doing the windows, we've got this down pretty decent. Question mark. The windows, it's not that bad, but it's just time consuming. Kind of be careful, take your time. I'm gonna move these out of the way for now. Put that in the box. That's the back one, so this is the front. Okay. And when you take this cover off, it's going to sound like it's breaking, but it's not. Well, it's probably not. I'm going to say that because I did break a piece on the last one. Alright guys, I don't know how long the gimbal was dead. I was working on this. The gimbal died, and I just happened to look up at the camera and talk to it directly, and it was pointing off over here somewhere. So I don't know how much we lost here, but I was just talking about pulling this little clip out that holds your crank on. If you pin the corner of the clip and then crank the clip, it'll just pop right off. But pinning the corner is kind of hard because it's a little bitty thin wire. So yeah, I got all those out, all the bolts out on the screws, and we're going to pop this off. Like I said, it's going to sound real bad. All you have to do is come out of this one. I have to fix that, or just take it off. I thought you was getting rid of them, or just the front ones.
Just don't recommend cup holder ones in the front unless you actually are going to use the cup holder.
Right. There it is. So I've got the door itself sitting on pool noodles, so it don't beat up the door on this table. Ooh, these clicks are hard. Oh, there it goes. Just work your way around, don't be impatient. Okay, there you go. Whew. It'll make you want to just snatch it off there, but I don't recommend it. Alright, so we got that off. And you've got a T30 right here. It holds all of this on. Zip it out, I'll go to the side, and kind of push away from you, and it'll unlock. You just got these little clips. Be careful with those. They are plastic and they will break. Just pops it. There it goes. Just pop them off and you get that off there. Bust those loose here in a minute and backfeed that through there and go from there. Alright, you got these 10mm bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. Then you got the 3 that holds the window crank pulley in there that will get out. Pass them off to my assistant. Thank you, assistant. So be careful on how you cut these clips on here. You can actually, if you cut them just right, you can run another zip tie through them and reuse them. So just keep that in mind when you're snipping them. And obviously don't snip your wire. And that's again a T30 there. And the window track is going to be a T30. Which reminds me, I got to cut these out real quick too. I've got this part. Thank you. So to cut those out, you just take a knife. There's already 2 tabs here. There you go. You got 2 tabs here to here, and they're already scored pretty good. So you just take your pocket knife or a flathead screwdriver and score it real good and smack them, and they'll come right out. And then there'll be 2 buttons you push in there with the window down. The window has to be all the way down, and it will release the glass, and you can pull it back up and pull all this out. But just a little score it like that. Go. They just go fall inside. Now you're good on that. And it is easier to do this with 2 people. The part we're fixing to do. Where you're going to see my lovely assistant over here again. So I've got this really long screwdriver, and I get my pocket knife. There's just tabs in there you kind of push. Alright, push to me and then pull. Alright, now you should be able to pull. There it goes. And that releases the glass. So on the front doors, there's this plug over here. You'll pull this plug out, and there's a nut on there you'll take loose. Not on the back doors. Don't do it on the back doors. You can pick these up at O'Reilly's or Harbor Freight. They got good ones and they got the little cheap ones. Depending on how often you're going to do stuff like this, it might be better to get the good ones. They look like screwdrivers. They're metal. The ends of them are like coated, so it don't damage your stuff. But because you do put a lot of pressure on these, like this has got a rubber sealant on it, and it is kind of a pain to get it to release. And you're going to pass your tool off to your trusty assistant. No, you're not, because it's on this side. The last door was on the other side. So you'll take T30s out that hold your latch in. There's 3 of them. Assist on. Take those out. And then the work begins to finagle this out. That last one, it ended up breaking a piece off. It just did not want to come out. You run that up a little bit, because that helps. Look at that. Boom. So that's it. Take that out, and then they give you a template, and I'll see right here. This little paper. It's kind of a thick cardstock paper, and see, like that, and it shows you where to drill your holes right here and here. So what I do is just run got a couple of 1/4 20 bolts, and no, these are the 10s. I was doing the windows. Sorry guys. Hand me a couple of the 10mm bolts, please. Thank you. Shout out to the lovely assistant. Snug. Yeah, so you got your 2 holes in the paper for marking for you to drill your holes. All right. Pop these back out. Here's our locking mechanism. It's just a 12-volt actuator and a rod they use for pulling it. There's a little S here on the rod, and you'll just kind of fish it through the hole there, and then the hook goes in the actuator, and that's all it's doing. Real simple mechanical thing. This is the other end of it. I popped it off because you got to hard mount it, and it's just easier to put this on the hook and then snap it on here after it's hard mounted. You mount it on there with 2 little stainless Phillips with 8mm nuts. Now sorry first. So your little solenoids or actuators are, I'll just use this one, it's already open. Same thing, little pigtails. They want it, the ends that come with are to hard mount it. So you run your other wire in there and crimping it, it's there. I'm putting little quick connects on there in case I ever have to get back in the door. I don't have to fight with, you know, the panel and stuff being stuck on there, because this actually goes from the inside of the door through the panel. So if you ever have to get in there again, it's just easier to disconnect it and get it out your way. But yeah, it's just little pigtails, and I'm replacing them with quick connects. I don't want it to be permanent in case I ever have to get in there and work on it. If my volume changes, I apologize, because my mic's wasn't charged. And I'm just talking to the camera, so I'm not sure how well it's picking up. Or if it's picking up at all, sadly. I might have to do a voiceover for all this. There we go. So it comes with your wire. It's just 2-strand wire, double insulated. Comes all in the kit. The instructions are pretty good. I wish they had put more pictures in there. I'm a picture go off kind of guy. The whole reading and comprehension is just over my head. So A1 Electrics makes this kit, and they make the kit for the windows too, for the 2016 JKs. Hers was the one that didn't come with power windows or locks. So A1 Electrics, and if I remember right, the window kit was what, 700 and some change, and the locks were around 300. She's been wanting this for a long time.
$1,000 total for
About $1,000 for everything. And we got such a good deal on the Jeep when we got it that it wasn't that big a deal. It sure beats buying a whole new Jeep just for some power windows and locks. She said now that it wasn't a pavement princess, that it needed power windows and locks. So I said, yes ma'am, okay. So if y'all haven't watched our last 5 videos, really, we went out to the Ozarks. It was her first time out there, and done some of the Ozark Overland Adventure Trails, and she had a blast. She don't really love the rock crawling aspect of it, but running the trails she really liked. And the scenery. She loved the scenery for sure. If y'all haven't been up to the Ozarks, they're gorgeous. But not prettier than you, though. Little cheese.
I'm melting.
The ladies like the cheese, guys. They like the cheese.
Usually on pizza.
Yeah, definitely on pizza. Sandwiches. Tacos.
Give me all the cheese.
Alright. So, mistakes, unfortunately, were made. I put the ends on here, running my mouth, not paying attention, before I ran the wire through the little door keep thing. So, I gotta, not that end, we don't want to cut that end off. So I gotta cut these back off, and I don't have no more. So, I'm going to have to go dig around and find some out in the shop. So, we'll circle back. Alright guys, so like I said, some mistakes were made, and just realized that you couldn't see my face, but y'all not here to see my face anyway, y'all here to see this. I got a light out here doing the best I can. It started getting dark and we had to run to town and get some of these butt connectors. Let me get back over here. So the way they designed this is you got to run the wires through everything before you put your ends on. That's why everything's piled up here like it is. Alright, so now we're going to piece all this together, so I'll bring you guys back in when I get all that figured out, because this is kind of a mess. Alright, good morning guys. So, as you can tell, it's another day. It started getting dark, couldn't see anything on the camera, so we decided to call it last night. But we're going to pick up where we left off. We finished up the back door, we're going to do the front door now. Pulling the panel off is the same, so I'm not going to record that and put that on here. It's the same concept, pretty much the same bolts, just a few different locations. Like you've got 2 over here, and the rest of them are pretty much the same. So we'll go ahead and get this popped off and get everything opened up, just like I did the last one, and I'll bring you back after we get that done. Alright guys, so we got it all opened up here, and this is the template I was talking about yesterday. It's just like on card stock, and I can't remember if I showed y'all it for the back door. You just cut it out, you mark your holes and everything, and you just set it on here. Alright, so yeah, you just lay your template on here, and run a couple of your 10mm bolts in there. Run them down there kind of snug. You don't want it to tear the paper, obviously. And then drill your 2 holes out. So that's what we're finna do now. Alright, so here's your locking mechanism. It's got a little pad on here so it don't vibrate and shake, because it's kind of a long little flexi. And get on there, down here, it helps pay attention to what you're doing. Line up your holes and run the little bolts they give you through it. I have been popping this off, stick it in my pocket so I don't lose it. And then when you put all your mechanism back down in there with your hook on there, you can just kind of snap it. Where are you at? There. Just kind of snaps back on there. So, but that's just a linear pull there. It's pretty simple. The next part is just to run our wire right here. But I got to run that through like the loom and all the other stuff, so I'm going to bring y'all back for that part. But I got to do the window motor, so see y'all here in a bit. Alright guys, so I went ahead and ran the wire through the mesh, and then it just loops around and follows this wire that's already in there. Run it through the grommet, down through and behind. Put your wire ends on that you choose to use, if you use the factory ones or whatever. Alright, so just going to kind of line this up, and your latch, or your little rod here, this goes over in the front door. The back door is different. Goes over it like that, and there we go. Goes over it like that, and goes down to the bottom. And there's a hole. Right, so that hole right there is where this goes, and it works the locking mechanism like so. Not a complicated setup, just time consuming putting it in there. So once you set all this down in there, give yourself a little room, and this snaps onto the end of that solenoid or actuator or whatever you want to call it. So set everything back down in there. Pull your slack out. Make sure it's not tangled up in anything. Oh, there is a piece in here. It's that little 8mm. So the front door, I was saying last night, there's a plug you gotta take out on the front door. That's that plug. You gotta take this little 8mm out and then put it back in there. Don't forget, that's what holds your handle on. While the assistant does that. Little trick though, to putting that plug or that bolt back in, a nut, I'll get it right, the nut back in there. You get a piece of paper. I don't need this template anymore. And it'll hold the nut in there like that. And get it started. And give it a, there you go.
Question your assistant.
And then you just put your panel back over. If you're doing the window motors, you got to grind this off and this out here. So, but that's part of the window motor video. So we're going to get this put back together, and then we're going to go over wiring up the actual head unit for the remote in the Jeep. Hey guys, so we're moved on to the installation of the wiring harness for each lock. Some of this you're not going to use, or you don't have to use. Like your white wire here goes to your, what was that one?
Lights.
Yeah, this makes your lights flash, and the rest of it is your common grounds and power, and this is your accessory to your accessory or remote wire. And these just do a bunch of different things. You can hook it to your horn, you can hook one to your interior light, so when you unlock it, your lights come on, all that stuff. We might hook the horn one up, but the rest of it we're just going to leave off to the side. The horn and the lights, she wants the lights to work, so we're going to do that. It suggested mounting the little module. Down here, under this little kick panel or knee panel, whatever. So we just glued it there with some double-sided sticky tape. And your remote wire will go from the module harness, same wire that we used last week on the power windows. So I'm going to snip that off, put a new end on it, and double it up and do that. So I'm going to start running these. Oh, one more thing. Down the passenger side of the Jeep, you have a third wire. Well, that's not it. One of these. It's kind of a mess at the moment. So you got 3 for the passenger side, 2 are for the door. 2 are for the door, and your third is going to be for your hatch or your gate for the lock in there. So don't forget that. If you don't buy that, that is extra. I think it was like $40 or something like that extra.
About 50.
$50 extra.
Somewhere around there.
The harness comes with the wire to do it. You're just getting the little actuator for the $50 or $40, whatever it was. So we're going to run all this and find a place to put all these wires, because that is a good chunk of wires. So we will see y'all here shortly. Alright guys, so I got all the panels back in on both sides. The wires run to the back. I got to do some cable management on this door. I already did it on that side. I got to do it on this door here, the cable management. Hit the unlock and lock it. There you go. And I did keep that there. And we got to do the back. Like I ran the wire, you just run it down the passenger side all the way down under the carpet out here into your loom. Pop this panel off. I probably got y'all way too close. Pop through the loom, pop this panel off, and then here. I haven't read the instructions yet on what all I'm going to have to drill and mount it, but I got it over there. That'll be what we do next. I'm just trying to finish up the inside first. So this is the last thing I have to do, and I will bring y'all back for that right there. Like I said, putting all these panels back together, I didn't film any of it. I mean, it's just like you took them apart, and running wires, it's just you run it under there, zip tie it to your existing things to keep it nice and neat and tight, and plug it in. It's just Canon plugs. So nothing too crazy there. The back, I will bring y'all back for that. I'm not sure, I haven't even looked at it to see what all that entails. So we'll cross that bridge here in a minute. So I'll bring you back then. Alright guys, so you take your, I'll get y'all turned around here in a minute correctly. Take all this off, run your wire out the back, run it through your loom here. Don't break your tabs like I did. Oh, that's why that did that. Yep, I gotta loosen that off. Alright, so run your wire down and inside here, like so. Well, I got y'all facing every which way. Like so. And then there's your little latch right there. It's already got a hole in it. Let's see, just right-handed. There we go. See it moving? So you let it dangle, and your mount goes right here. It's already holes drilled for this one, so you ain't even gotta do it. And I use this other too. So keep that in mind. This one black. What's that? What's that? You want to let it pass? Let it pass, around some chocolate. Like it? I like it. Look at there. Fancy, fancy. Right. So we got all the doors, locking and unlocking. Tied the lights in. We didn't do the horn. I did run out of zip ties. There's a little more wire management I need to do under the hood. It's kind of tucked away for now. So I can pick up some zip ties later today or in the morning. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to call this one. This was A1 Electronics.
Electric.
A1 Electric. So far, really happy with it. The install went pretty good. A little time consuming because we did do the power windows too. Pretty easy to follow on most things. The box that you get for the locks though comes with a bunch of extra wires to do a bunch of other things. You can make it cut on your dome light, flash your headlights, make your horn blow, a bunch of different things. We didn't opt all that. We just wanted the light flash and it to work. But good company. If you didn't watch the window motor install or power windows install, they called us when we ordered the kit to see if we needed, because we ordered the kit and then plugs to cap the holes where the cranks went. Well, they called us and was like, hey, is this just going to be for one project? We said, yeah, it's going to be for one project. They said, well, you don't need the plugs. They already come with the kit. Cool. Awesome. So it saved us a little money there. They didn't have to call us. We could have just ordered it and wasted another, what was it, 10, 15 bucks. But they went out of their way, called. Delivery took about 3 days. Well, it was 4 days, but not counting Sunday. So 3 days from the time she ordered it till it got to our house, from California to East Texas. Awesome. And like I said, the install went really well. It is time consuming, I'm not going to lie. We probably got about, in windows and locks, all 4 doors and the gate, probably about 12 hours. But that's me filming, stopping, getting tools and stuff I wasn't prepared for on me. You could probably do it, 8 to 10 without fooling with the other stuff. So keep that in mind, guys. But I think that's where we're going to call it. We're going to clean up our mess here, and I guess she's going to sit for hours and play with her power windows. So
It's a little hot.
that's where we're at right now. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, Semper Fi and God bless.